Namaste, Jai Bharat. United Nations is supposed to be, at least in purpose, one of the highest of democratic structures in the world. But are they democratic at all is a question which is asked by none other than my nation. Are they really democratic? There is a United Nations Security Council, just 5 members. The Americans, France, Britain, China and Russia. There was a proposal that Bharat, which is the largest democracy in the world, consistently democratic, where highest democratic values are in practice, with all the drawbacks of democracy, Bharat still is the best democracy in the world, particularly given the size of the people or the citizens of this mighty nation, with a glorious knowledge tradition and history, in spite of the fact that there had been 1,000+ years of alien dominations on Bharat, first from the Muslims, then by the Brits and the Europeans. The Muslims tried their best to Islamize Bharat, and the Europeans tried their best to evangelize Bharat. With all that, our Sanskriti is intact, and we have come this way, all this way, in this short period of our independence. So there are suggestions from many nations in the world that Bharat should be given a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. Now, United Nations Security Council members, these 5 nations, have something called as a magic wand. That's the veto power. Now, anything they can veto, something they can veto, and by any one of these 5 members making veto power present, the whole process of proceedings shall get quashed, or the whole movement of United Nations comes to a standstill. Things, all progresses shall get arrested. That's the nature of veto power. Now the first question is this veto power democratic? Are we not supposed to hear everyone and treat everyone as equal, giving them equal privilege, rights, respect? Then only you can legitimately call yourselves as democracy. Otherwise, certainly not. Then it is some kind of a boss ruled relations. Now, China used to object the permanent citizenship of Bharat in the past. This time, of course, when the question came up as Bharat's permanent position in the United Nations, China did not veto. Nobody vetoed, and somebody from the most unexpected quarters, somebody who talks from morning to evening and evening to morning about democracy, vetoed. And who is that someone? That's just the United Fruit Company. No, United States of America. I just borrowed the term United Fruit Company from Pablo Neruda. Well, that's besides the point. Now, nearly 160 nations were shocked, but Bharat is not shocked. We knew it coming. We knew that Qatar, Saudi, Pakistan and America had closed door meetings regarding some secret things, serious things, whatever. We knew that there were efforts to resist Bharat becoming permanent member. And then of course America vetoes. Good. This America's veto exposes them, exposes the United Nations as an autocratic body, autocratic, decided by, governed by these 5 permanent members, which is definitely undemocratic. That comes out in limelight. Discussions went on. And today's Bharat is a new Bharat. We stand by righteousness. Our motto is Satyameva Jayate. Truth shall prevail. Honesty shall prevail. And we have waited for all these years for any kind of recognition, and we have marched forward without anyone's recognition. These things we knew. Shock it was, but not unanticipated. We knew. America will backstab at the instances of whosoever. But then if you are changing your views, changing your opinions at the instance of someone, then that reflects on your personality, your stability, your fecundity, fidelity, and even fertility. Now this has repercussions. Our voice went wide. Our voice went loud. We said, if the largest and the most consistent democracy of the world is not given a permanent membership in the United Nations, then that United Nations is just a paper dog, undemocratic. So what's the point of staying in this group of people? Look at the world order. There is no equality in the world order. Different people are treated differently in the world order. Is that something that you want? Or you want everyone to be treated in equal terms? Well, legitimacy can only come when everybody is treated in the equal manner. Otherwise, you can't claim any legitimacy of anything. You are having your own ways. That's precisely what powerful nations in the world do. They suppress others. America can go to Venezuela and pick up the president along with his wife, bring back to their place and lock them up. Whatever kind of the lock. Lock them up. Nobody is questioning. Or nobody is asking. Do you think this is democracy? No, certainly not. This America is a big eyewash. They say something and do just the opposite. Inconsistent kind of people, and with the changing of president, their policies change. Bharat is not like that. No matter who rules Bharat, our policies don't undergo such drastic changes. Whatever is committed by one is kept by the other who's coming after him. So that kind of transparency we have. I have no hesitation in claiming that Bharat is one of the most transparent nation in the entire world, and you don't want them to be permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. Fine. But then do you think today's Bharat will keep quiet? No. They have challenged openly, saying that the whole United Nations become insignificant and unimportant in front of justice, equality, and there is no fraternity if people are not treated on equal terms. Somebody is big, somebody is not so big, somebody is small. Somebody is very small, somebody is deplorable. That should not be the criteria for anyone doing anything. Now, repercussions of this become serious. United Nations, until they do some kind of serious internal structural maneuvering of change, is going to be insignificant in real near time. Many nations have expressed, more than 160 nations have expressed their concern about the happenings in the United Nations, and then Bharat thinks in terms of a global peace foundation, which might meet somewhere in the near future in Delhi. And if the Global Peace Foundation members who are equal in every respect come together, it can be a substitute, or it can simply replace the United Nations and the hegemony. I should use the word hegemony. The hegemony of some select people in the world who decides the ways of the world. The world cannot go on anything anymore like this. Enough is enough. Whatever happened in the past has happened. There are multiple kinds of criterion, multiple kinds of justice. When Saudi Arabia and Turkey, they are enriching uranium, America is keeping quiet. And when the Persians are enriching uranium, America gets bugged. Why? Selective justice, selective democracy, selective justice, selective everything. Your friend can do anything, but others can't do. I can do anything, others can't do. It's something like the Islamic scholar who says, no rules are applicable to me, but all Sharia are applicable to common people, not to the religious autochthon. Situation is similar to that. If the Global Peace Foundation really takes off, and that's going to be powerful, because there are many sidelined, many so-called, that word is inappropriate, I know, but for want of another term, there are many subaltern nations in the world in the eyes of the elites in the world. And those subaltern nations are nations with integrity and dignity. If they all come together, this world global order shall change. The UN-like things won't have any significance. And don't think that these rich nations, big nations, can survive without the support of the smaller nations. Until and unless you treat the nations equally, with dignity and respect. Look at the way America is treating other nations. I'm not giving the example of Zelensky, which happened some time back. It's in front of everyone. The big boss wants everyone to dance according to his tune, and this can't take place anymore. It had gone enough and crossed the limit. Perhaps in future, the United Nations significance shall not only become null and void, but maybe it shall cease to exist in time to come. Now, of course, Washington is worried about the possible repercussions of their vetoing Bharat. Don't worry. What you did is that you did. And whatever might happen is what you asked for. We shall meet again. Namaste, Jai Bharat and Jai Sri Ram.